Good morning, our presenter and participant. Welcome to the virtual Viettiso International Conference 2021. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank you so much for your participation and contribution to our annual convention success. We are Lê Thị Thúy Hà and Trần Thị Mai Hương as the presentation moderator. We are delighted to see all of you in live of the virtual present today, especially in this parallel live oral presentation. We do hope that all of you will be able to have some valuable knowledge and experience as takeaway following the talk. Before the presentation, there are a few considerations. In case you have any question or concern about the presentation, please feel free to leave them in the task box so that we can gather the question for the easy response in 5 to 10 minute Q&A section. We'd like to welcome Mr. Thien Doan and Dr. Ngo Phuong in this parallel line of presentation, which is integrating intercultural communicative competence in speaking classes, lectures, perception, and practice. About presenter, Mr. Thien Doan and Dr. Ngo Phuong are from Huế University of Foreign Languages. Thien Doan is a fresh graduate from the University of Foreign Languages, Huế University. His research interests include teachers' practice and learner improvement. Viettiso International Conference is considered his first academic activity, which promise to bring him opportunity to improve himself as an English teacher. Please welcome Mr. Thien Doan.
Yeah, thank you. So good morning, everyone. First of all, I'm Thien, and I'm a graduate from the University of Foreign Languages, Huế University. And to be honest, this is my graduation thesis, and it's a great honor to present my research to the Viettiso International Convention 2021. So this study aims to explore the lecturer attitudes toward the importance of intercultural communicative competence and how they apply intercultural elements into their actual teaching. So before starting my presentation, I would like to acknowledge Ms. Ngo Phuong for her great contribution to my research and all the people who have supported me to complete the research work directly and indirectly. So my presentation will include 6 parts. So introduction, literature review, methodology, findings and discussion, implications and suggestions, and references. So let's move to the first part, introduction. So as you probably know that it goes without saying that communication is recognized as an essential process for people to transfer what they think or what they want. So, and English is, of course, one of the most popular languages. Therefore, in this globalizing age, English plays a vital role as a tool to connect people internationally. However, sometimes it can be misunderstood due to some reasons related to cultural aspects. To avoid unnecessary misunderstandings in cross-cultural communication, there is a need for lecturers to teach their students ICC to help them communicate effectively to people from other cultures, and have them know more about a bit more about the target country and its people. Personally, having learned foreign languages for almost 11 years, so I realized that it is crucial for students to be aware of intercultural dimensions to prepare for the intercultural work in the future. However, most of the students, they do not pay much attention to improving their knowledge of cultural differences, but linguistic competence, such as pronunciation, vocabulary, that lead them to the fact that they will have the cultural conflicts with foreigners from different cultures. And then the literary review. So this chapter provides an overview of the background features in the theoretical knowledge of ICC. So the first one, I will talk about the intercultural communicative competence and then the cultural teaching in EFL classes. There are three aspects that we need to know about ICC that are definition of CC, which is communicative competence, and then the definition of ICC, and then the levels of ICC. So the definition of CC. So it, like, first, according to Chen and Slorotzer in 1996 and Allen Wood in 1978. So there are two concepts that have been applied in discussions of communicative competence that are effectiveness and appropriateness. So effectiveness is can be understood as the ability to generate the expected impacts by interacting, and appropriateness is the ability to recognize the importance of context in communication. And then about the definition of ICC. So it has been discussed by a significant number of authors in literature. So Brian in 1997, he concluded that ICC is considered as one of the most essential aspects of English teaching and learning, which refers to the ability to interact with people from another country and culture in foreign languages. And it conceived the same as communicative competence in the aspect of effectiveness and appropriateness, but the only different point is that ICC has paid more attention on contextuality. So how about the levels of ICC? So there are various ways to classify the levels of ICC, stated by several experts. But according to Martin in 1994, there are three levels that include cognitive level, affective level, and then behavioral level. So the cognitive level or of ICC or cognitive training is the first level to raise students' awareness of the influences of culture on communication in diverse cultural contexts. And then affective level is the second level to help students manage their emotional reactions, stress, adjustment, and confusion to other cultural aspects when communicating interculturally. So the last level is behavioral level. So according to Kim in 1991, she believes that behavioral level is upper level to cognitive and effective level, which is the final level. So let's move to the second section of the literature review, which is about cultural teaching and in EFL classes. So the first one, I will talk about culture and ICC in EFL training, and then the problems that lecturers will have when integrating intercultural communicative competence in teaching. So the first one, culture. So as you probably know, in culture can be seen as a system of beliefs, values, customs, behaviors, and artifacts shared by a group or a society and used to connect to others. And it includes, according to Hall in 1976, So in the Ibert's theory, there are two parts of the cultures, like the surface ones and the profound ones. So the surface ones can understand as the visible ones include food, language, and festival, while the other include beliefs, values, perceptions that are unconscious. Then we have the elements of culture. So as you can see from the table, there are three cultural dimensions, including perspectives, products, and practices. So according to in 2012, practices and products are derived from cultural perspectives with traditional ideas, attitudes, and meanings and values. Next, speaking of the roles of culture in language teaching and learning, so to the lecturers with a better understanding of ICC, lecturers will be more active and positive to apply ICC elements into their practical teachings, and to the learner, prepare them to communicate to others effectively and appropriately in the multicultural environment with the tool ICC. So how about the problems? So there are a lot of problems that the lecturer will have when they want to integrate ICC into teaching. So the first one is the misconception. So the learner, they want to learn to certified native speakers, such as having a very good pronunciation and very good accent, for example, British accent or American accent. And then the short text of intercultural objects, such as and cultural content in the textbook, and then the lack of time, and then the understanding of culture of the teachers, of the lecturers. So about the study. So in this study, there are three research questions that aims to investigate. So the first one is the first research question is to what extent do the lecturer perceive ICC objectives to be important in the language classroom, and then what activities do the lecturers use to teach intercultural competence in their classes. And the final one is how do lecturers apply the elements related to intercultural communicative competence in the speaking section of North Star 2, speaking and listening to teach ESL. So I will talk about the methodology. So in order to satisfy the aims of the study, the researcher, I employed the approach of qualitative methods in the study. So there are two things that I want to share about the research methodology that are the participant and the instruments. So the participants, so this study was conducted with the voluntary participation of 4 lecturers from the University of Foreign Languages, Hue University. So they were teaching speaking 2 for the first year English major students and with the support of the textbook North Star 2, speaking and listening. Oh, sorry. So you can see the basic information of the participant at the table. Okay. And then about the instruments. So with the aim of investigating the lecturers' perceptions of how ICC is important to their lecturers and investigating their practices of integrating intercultural communicative competence in their daily teaching at the University of Foreign Languages, Hue University. So the data was collected through three main sources in the order textbook, classroom observation, and interviews. So first about the textbook. So at the English faculty of the University of Foreign Languages, the NOTSA series has been applied into the curriculum for years in order to help students develop their ICC. And it includes 5 sets from level 1 to level 5. So it's set and consists of 2 textbooks. One is for reading and writing, while another is for speaking and listening. And the information and results received from the analysis of the textbook were listed based on the classification of the cultural elements, including perspectives, products, and practices. And as you can see from the table 2, from table 3, so the basic information of the speaking section of the textbook is shown at the table. Next, I will talk about the observation. So in the study for observation of 4 lecturers' classes were conducted. So it is to clarify their practice on integrating ICC into speaking lessons, and it's lasted for 19 minutes. And this class were video recorded, protected, and only used for academic purpose of research. Next, about the interviews. So the interview section. The interview questions were designed following the format of semi-structured interviews, and it was conducted in Vietnamese. So for the purpose of reducing the pressure on the interviewees, and at the same time they can easily understand the interview question clearly and accurately. Then, each interview lasted from 20 to 30 minutes and audio recorded with Zoom. Then, about the findings and discussion. So to answer the first question, so we have the findings here. So in the interviews, the participants were also asked to rate their self-evaluation on the importance of ICC on a scale from 1 to 5, with 1 is not important and 5 not very important. And the figure 1 shows that all the lecturers are aware of the crucial role of intercultural competence in language teaching and learning. So as you can see from the field 1, they all agree that ICC is vital. 3 lecturers chose 4, while another chose 5. About the frequency of teaching and of cultural elements in speaking to. So this is compatible with the study of in 2019 that talk about those the lecturers do not have theoretical knowledge of ICC, but they are willing to teach their students with the purpose of giving the learners the facts of culture. So, according to the lecturers, ICC objectives just impact on their teaching content and classroom activities, but none on their teaching methods. Then, what activities do the lecturer use to teach ICC? So, during the observations, it is found that the lecturers mainly focus on conveying linguistic contents in their lesson, but they try to conduct several activities during the teaching session. These activities are only for a purpose of helping students practice their skills, including speaking and listening. Hence, most of them spend limited time on ICC in order to introduce like the new words, the vocabulary through terms explanation.
Okay, Thien, I just want to remind you that we have 10 more minutes for all of your presentation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The next one. So the lecturers do not classify the intercultural objectives into 2P, which are perspective, products, and practices. So I will talk about how do the lecturers apply the elements related to ICC to the speaking section. So all the lecturers, they admitted that they did not use on the patterns in the textbook for their teaching. So most of the teaching content in the textbook are modified to have better purpose for the students according to like the up to newness and the suitability. Then the implication. So for the lecturers, so it is better for them to equip themselves with the sufficient knowledge of ICC and then analyze student needs in terms of ICC as well as their levels of English. And then they need to introduce the role of ICC and its benefit to their students. And then for the university administrators, so it offered that the university should offer ICC courses and professional development activities for lecturers, for them to have better understanding of ICC. And they might have some guidebook for the teacher, for the lecturer to implement ICC activities in their teaching. And then the intercultural seminars for the students. For future research, so it needs to about research sites and more classroom observation. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Ms. Ha, please turn on your microphone. Unmute your microphone.
Okay, we would like to
Thank
say
you.
thank you for your great presentation. Now we are happy to receive any question you may have for our presenter. You are in the task box. I see Ms. Lam Cha had a question for you, Thien. She's wondering the context in the ESL of the ELF class. Dealing with the third research question. The context is in ELFs of EFL classes.
So for this question, thank you for questioning. So for this question, because the research was conducted at the University of Foreign Languages, and for the English major students, so the context may be ESL and then maybe EFL, according to the definition of the researcher.
Thank you.
So I want to add.
Yes. Which level of ICC are likely the outcome of the activity that the lecturers use?
So most of the lecturers they use the activity for like for the first one for the cognitive level and affective level, but some of the teachers they taught students their the ICC elements are related to behavioral levels. For example, like table manners as well, how to respect people from other cultural backgrounds.
And she also very interested in the study. And the third question she want to ask you that either what are the student level in the class? Are they the same or different?
So according to the level of the students in the faculty of the University of Foreign Languages, so most of the level is of the student is assigned as B1 level for the first year student.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, I think I received one question from the website. Yeah. How could you ensure the reliability and validity of the research because it is a qualitative one? Yeah, can you answer?
Okay, so thank you for the question. So to ensure the reliability and validity of the research, so when collecting the data, I attach particular importance to the reliability and validity to have the most accurate data by having a trained student, a trained senior student, to code the data one more time after the first categorization of the data through the analysis of the textbook, observations, and interviews.
Thank you very much.
And then, and then I use the Cohen's kappa statistic to ensure.
Okay, that's good. I also received a question from Ripta. How did you analyze the data?
So about the analytics. So the data I will analyze by three main sources of the data. Like for the first one is the textbook. So the data from the textbook will be were analyzed by were classified into three aspects, including perspectives, practices, and products, according to the research of Kim in 2011.
Yeah.
And also they are noted and counted for percentage.
Yeah, I think it's time for one more question. I will read the question from the Drip Star. What do you think about integrating ICC elements into teaching English at a high school level or lower level? Yeah.
So that an interesting question. So to be honest, so most of students, because they was a student from low level of students from high school or lower, so they had a belief that they just learn they were just learning for the purpose of to satisfy the native speakers. So they just want to know how to pronounce a word correctly, like a native speaker, how to have the accents. So it's better for us to teach like students from lower level, like for them to know more about the cultural aspect, and then like build a belief for them to not to judge other people if they do not have the same cultural aspect like you. And then like one more thing that I want to share is just like have them know more about the international accents, so that they do not laugh at other people from like, for example, from Thai, from Indian, because they speak different accents. So we all know that international accents play an important role for communication.
Thank you very much. So moderator Lê Thị Hà, I think it's
Due
all the
to
time.
the limited time,
Yeah.
so we cannot include all of the question in the Q&A section. So you can email the presenter directly. On behalf of VIC 2021, we wish you all the best. with the productive day and meaningful rest of our virtual convention. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay. Thank you very much again. And I think that we all should turn on our camera and have a photo together. Yes.
And click heart.
Yeah, click on the icon heart. Yeah, please turn on your camera so that we can have a photo together. And click on the heart icon. Host, can you help us to take a photo?
And smile.
Okay, is it okay, host?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you very much for your attending. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you very much for all the participants and especially the two three speakers today. And all of you have made the success for these two parallel oral presentations. So see you again at the main conference.